How's it going, folks? This is Ketchup here once again, bringing you not necessarily a character breakdown, but I really want to shed some light on the Leatherface, Vortex he gets in Butcher. Now, some of you will probably know about the Vortex already, because there are some Butcher players out there. I mean, Sonic Fox even plays a little bit of Butcher, Madsen plays a little bit of Butcher, where you would probably have seen the Vortex in action. But for those that haven't, because, let's be real, when we see Leatherface, we generally tend to only see Killer at the moment, even though Butcher is a very, very good variation by its own right. I want to run over some of the attacks that he gets access to, but mainly touch on the Vortex. So Butcher gets an entirely new set of normals. As you can see, if I go on the variation menu, a ton of things are different. He gets a whole bunch of new special moves. A lot of his strings have been changed around to cater to new attacks that he gets in Butcher involving the hammer, and some unique normals. So a lot of things are different. More importantly, as you can see, he gets down back. Yeah, so let's tag these, just to tag these for the sake of it. So he gets, the down back A, so he gets this attack. He gets the down forward B. These are just slightly different specials. The two notable attacks he gets in Butcher, though, are the super fast command grab, which, as you can see, it comes out insanely quick. It is, as far as I'm aware, it is actually the fastest command grab in the game. And a lot of these moves have armor. Like this command grab is completely armored and does good damage and knocks down. And the most important move, I think, for what Leatherface can do in Butcher is the down forward 2. Now, the regular version, this is overhead, and I believe it also goes over lows because he does that little hop. As you can see, he does a little hop, which can go over some low attacks. And the hitbox on it is crazy as well. The regular version is safe. However, the Meatburn version, which launches, is not safe. But as you can see, it launches, which allows Leatherface to go in and combo into his stun, and lead into what I would really like to touch on, which is the Vortex that he gets in Butcher. Now, he gets a true overhead and low starter in Butcher. The forward 2, which is an overhead, and the forward 3, which is a universal low. Now, the low cannot be hit confirmed into anything. You can go low into stun and then combo the opponent as you want, but you can't hit confirm it. You have to dedicate to this low. And you also, the low option is not safe, because the back down 4, the chainsaw stun, is extremely unsafe on block. And if you want to make it safer, you have to hit confirm into one of the slightly safer moves, which most of the time would be the hammer strike, because it's only, I believe it's only it's +2 actually. That is +2 on block. However, if I set the opponent to reversal, if the opponent blocks my low option and I try and go for a safer option, he actually can reversal. Obviously, Sub-Zero just gets out of there for free, but if that was something like Tempest Lao, that would be a free meter burn spin into full combo, so you got to be careful. Now, let's turn him off block. What is the Vortex in Butcher? It uses all of his unique normals, and the overhead option will come from forward 2, and the string, which you hit confirm into his stun, is forward 2, 1, down 2. This 3-hit string right here. This is very easily hit confirmable into stun. You can throw out the string, and you have a million years to see whether it connects. And if it's blocked, you're safe, so you're totally fine. The low option, have to commit into the stun, or have to commit into the meter burn launcher, and that has to be hit, you have to dedicate to that, but you can hit confirm as overhead option. Now, the reason this is actually a Vortex is because the stun of the Vortex doesn't actually come from the stun of the chainsaw. It comes from his back 2, which is a unique normal, which is super, super, super plus on hit. Excuse me, sorry. If you're playing as Jason, you'll be familiar with his forward 2, which will stun the opponent. Leatherface's back 2 is actually the same thing. This is a normal that causes a true stun, which combos into whatever you want, and then you can launch. Now, this actually also isn't the stun that you get to apply the Vortex. The Vortex will come from ending any combo in Jump and Punch 2-2. Because the 2-2, right there, is +21 on hit. Now, as far as I'm aware, that's a 19-frame forward 2, and I think a 17-frame forward 3. Let's check the frame data just to see. Yeah, a 19-frame overhead and a 17-frame low. There is a little bit of potential fuzzy guarding here and reacting to the normal, but your overhead will come from the 2-2, which is plus enough that guarantees either a forward 2 or a forward 3. So you basically do a specific combo every single time, like you do with Vortex characters, and you end the combo in the 2-2. Now, the combo goes like this. Combo into his meter burn overhead, NJP, forward 1, 1-2 stun, jump in 2, back 2, jump in punch 2-2, and that opens up for the stun. Now, I slightly mistimed it there, so it didn't completely combo. Let's set the opponent to auto block, and we'll get the timing down. But as you can see, you always combo into a good amount of damage, go in, combo into the chainsaw, jump into back 2, jump in, 2-2, and then you apply the 50-50 afterwards. And that's what you enforce right there. That's the Vortex. And this is basically done by you combo into a launcher, NJP, forward 1, go in for the stun. I'll try that again real quick. I don't really play Butcher, I just know the Vortex, so execution isn't that great. Jump in 2, back 2. Jump in punch 2-2, and then you can apply it once again. You're safe on block and you can just stay there, or you can do that by itself and then counter poke with this. So, you know, just because he's blocked it doesn't necessarily mean you can't counter poke into another stun or launcher if the opponent tries to press a button. So the Vortex basically looks like that. There is a meterless version of it, obviously. You can just straight up hit confirm into the stun. So you can just throw this out, hit confirm into the stun, back to 2-2. I mean, that's a meterless 23 into a guaranteed guess once again. So that by itself, to be honest, as a meterless Vortex is decent damage. You can hit confirm into the stun, jump in, back to 2-2 just to get an extra chunk of damage, 26%, and then that leads into it once again. And of course, you can just cash out the damage if you want. Let's say I've gone for the low option right here. NJP, forward 1, 1-2 stun. Jump in, let's try that again, I mistimed the run. Jump in, do it again, cash out the damage and then go for 31% into a, you know, 12% grab. That's 43% damage for a bar. So there's always the element of being able to go for a grab there. And let's be real, when you're enforcing a 50-50 after the 2-2, there's no way the opponent is going to neutral crouch and try and whiff punish a grab, because there's a low and an overhead. It is so risky for the opponent to do that. Obviously, Leatherface has got some other unique normals as well, where you can go either low or overhead. Because you would go the string that ends low, or you would special cancel it early and go into the overhead stomp, you know, like that, the down forward 2. For example, there's that as well, you know, back 1 down 2, which is back 1 into low, mid low, or you can launch, which is back 1 up 2, I believe, which launches the opponent as well. And it's much quicker, I believe. So there's this as well, where you can go, you know, low, or you can go launching overhead, and then you combo, and then basically combo back into his Vortex again. And you can pretty much loop this as long as you want. If the opponent gets hit, let's just loop it, okay? Let's turn him off block. Let's say he gets hit. Bam, hit confirm again. Guess wrong. Combo back into itself. Stun of the back 2. Guaranteed to jump 1-2-2. Back into it again. Hit confirm. Spending the bar just to get the extra damage. Back into a stun. Jump 2, back 2. Jump 1-2-2. Go in for the low. Gets hit. Jump in. And then as you can see, it kind of loops all the time. The one thing I want to add is, when you land the chainsaw stun from this range, you have to jump in with 2 rather than the 1. Because if I jump in with 1, he can actually block in time most of the time. Not necessarily there, but as far as I'm aware, I think the jump in 2 has a little bit, either has a bit more hit stun on it, or it just has an easier time comboing into that forward 2. Because if you go for, you know, you can just spend the bar to do forward 3 into the stun, jump 2, straight into this, launch, bam, bam, you know, bam, bam, good damage, whatever you want to do. It's pretty much, the jump 2 is a much better way to combo off all of these slightly slower normals, which you have to do to enforce this Butcher Vortex. So that's pretty much it. I really just wanted to do a little video shedding some light on the Butcher Vortex, the absolute basics of it. I don't really play Butcher or Leatherface in general, but I do know how the Vortex works, and the Vortex is incredibly key to Leatherface. This isn't really a tutorial, I just want to basically touch on the effective, kind of annoying to deal with element that Butcher actually has. And that's that. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hopefully this was helpful to you. Those out there that couldn't really make Butcher tick, this is a good place to start, basically. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you later.